Hello everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing look number 2 using the Glossybox products that we've received over the last 3 months. If you've not seen look number 1, I will link it up here now for you. And as per the other video, we're going to be using the Style London eyeshadow palette. There we go. Today we're going to be using the orangey shade here, which is a matte, and then this lighter sort of lemony orangey shade down here. Then we are going to go in with the Bella Pierre eye candy in the shade Venus that we received in December's box. We are going to be using the Steve Laurent Rose Gold High Pigment Powder or Multi-Purpose Pigment Powder again. This time we're going to be using it with a wet eyeliner brush and using it as an eyeliner like it says you can. Obviously I've already used it as a dry all over the shade, and I've used it as a highlighter. Check out the other video for how that turns out. And then we are going to be using the Lord & Berry lip crayon that we received in October's box, the Candy Cosmetics Pre-Glow Up Mist, of course, to finish off, that we received in November's box. And for my highlighter today, I'm not going to be using the Steve Laurent, I'm going to be using the Ciate London that I received in my Look Fantastic Black Friday edit box. Let's get into it. I have remembered to prep and prime my eyes today. I am going to use my Miss Santa hat for the last time this week because it's getting rather mucky, so it needs a wash. Let's get straight into it, everybody. The first colour we're going to be putting down is this orange matte here, and that's going to be going all in our crease. Let's pick it up. As I mentioned in my last video, you do get quite an amount of kick up with these powders in here, even if you go in very, very lightly, excuse me, because they're quite dry, particularly the mattes, you do get a lot of kick up. So just something to be aware of. Make sure you're tapping in that brush quite a lot of times to get rid of any excess. Okay, let's go in. So like I say, we're going in to the crease with this one. Just patting it down like I normally do, and then we're going to go in and blend. Here we go. The brush I'm using for this is one of the brushes I got from Next. It was a 6-piece brush shed. No, it was a brush set. And it was £10. I keep meaning to do a video on all the products I got in my next haul. I might do that actually after this one. It's one of those on the Gunter list. I don't know, do you have a Gunter list? I have quite a lengthy Gunter list, it has to be said. There we go, so I've just patted that down and now just very gently sweeping it all over, in, out, shake it all about. Done. Pick up some more, tap off again, and into the crease, all the way over, and then I open the eye and literally just sweep backwards and forwards, just to blend it out a little bit and make sure we're not getting any patchiness or anything like that. Again, as I mentioned in my last video, these are quite pigmented shadows, so if you're a little nervous of the brighter colours, literally just tap the end of your brush in, tap the excess off and go in gently and build up. You know, I've used this palette a few times now, so I've kind of got the hang of it a little bit more. Now I'm going in with a bit of a fluffier brush. Again, it's from the Next set. And whoopsie daisy, I forgot to show you. I'm going in with this lightest shade here. And we're going to go over under the brow line with this. And I want to make sure that I'm sort of going partially over that first orangey shade, because I'm going to use this shade to sort of buff out and blend out those edges, because sometimes when you go in with that crease shade, the line you can get, particularly if your primer's not quite set or you haven't set it with a powder, it can create quite a harsh line. So I'm going for a bit of a softer look today. Sometimes I like the harsh lines, sometimes I don't, and if I'm not wanting those harsh lines, pick up a lighter shade like I'm doing here, and like I say, just go over that edge very, very gently, circular motions, and hopefully you can see the difference. Yeah, can you see how sharp this line is? But now I've put that down, it's softened it out a wee bit, and it gets an extra colour on there, which, you know, why not? The eyelids are only a certain size, but my theory is try and get as many different shadows on there as is humanly possible. Sometimes I can try and put too many on, and then we look a little bit messy, but for the most part it works out fairly well. Here we go, just get a little bit more of that. I'll show you the amount of kick up in the pan that you can get in a minute, because it is quite a lot, everybody. Excuse me. It's kind of a no-win situation. If you're wanting quite nicely pigmented eyeshadows, they often can be a bit dry and a bit crumbly, but that then gives you the problem with the kick up. But, you know, hey ho, we'll work with it. So there we go, just to show you the amount of kick up that you get in the pan. It is quite a lot. There we go, so we're done. That's it, done. Now we're going to go in with the liquid eyeshadow from Bella Pierre, and I am literally going to use the applicator and see how this goes. So I'm going to go from the outer corner, I don't know if you can see, I'm just pressing that down, and I'm going to pull it down. There we go. And then I'm going to come in, turn that over, and then spread this all over the lid. I have got a little brush ready in front of me if I feel I need it. I've just now turned it over, and I'm going right on the very end of the dough foot to try and get into that inner corner. And got quite a blob on that outer corner, so I'll just try and blend that in a little bit. There we go. Not bad at all. That's going on quite nicely. I'm just going to pick up a teeny weeny little more and go into this inner corner. I mean, as sort of a, so you don't have to use a brush. I mean, I've got quite small eyelids, I think I've mentioned to you all before, but that's gone on okay. I feel like I've managed to use that dough foot okay to get that down. Can we see? Can we focus in a little bit more there? Now, this is not meant to crease or crack or anything, so I might just do a little bit of an update at the end of the day and let you know how it's all worn. I'm not promising, because I am going to my sister's tonight, so I will try and remember. But when the youngest sister and I get together, there's normally an amount of gin involved, so an update may not happen, just to let you know. We'll see. Actually, it might be quite a challenge. Might see if I can get her to actually come on camera for you. God, that would need an amount of gin, I think. About a bottle and a half, but you never know, I might be able to convince her. And again, just going in a little bit more. I'm quite liking this. Quite impressed with the way this is going on. It's a fairly thick formula. But it's not overly thick that it feels too gloopy or anything. And the payoff is really, I'm very impressed. I mean, I've literally gone in once, one dip, and that's kind of done all the way over, and then I've literally just gone in on a second dip just to get that inner corner. Yes, I'm doing some pretentious wafting. It's a liquid eyeshadow. If you open your eye before it's dry, you're gonna get transfer, and I really don't particularly want to get transfer if I can help it. I am gonna go in with a little bit more of that first orangey matte shade. I'll try this side first, just to bring that back a little bit. So very, very gently going in. There we go. And I'm literally just dipping my brush in on the very, very end. See, I've opened my eye a wee bit too early on this side, so I've got a little bit of transfer. Nothing major, but it is something to remember, everybody. If you're using liquid eyeshadows, a great handy tip actually is to have a hairdryer standing by. And if you get your hairdryer and do one eye or whatever, and then get your hairdryer and just quickly waft, blow your hairdryer on, it'll dry and set. You see, I can feel, now I've closed this eye, I can feel this eye is dry. This eye I can feel is still wet. So if you're in a rush, this might not be the best. You might not want to sit here for a few minutes sort of wafting. But if you've got a little bit extra time, you know, or maybe go in with a lighter layer of it, that, you know, that'll dry down quicker, definitely. I really like that. What do you think? What do you think? I really like it. I think it's coming out really nicely. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the Steve Laurent. Now then, okay, so very carefully opening this. I've got my angled liner brush. I'm going to spray it with... oh dear, excuse me. I'm going to spray it with my face mist. Ooh. And then I'm going to tip, I'm going to try and do this, whoops, tip a small amount of the powder into the lid there. Come on, there we go. Sprayed my brush, it's really wet. And yeah, it mixes up into like a paste, which is what I wondered if that would happen. Now, I do know there is a product on the market by a company called Inglot. Can't remember the name of the product, but it will turn any eyeshadow into a liner because it mixes it up and it makes it into, like say, like a liquidy paste, and then you can use it as an eyeshadow. But to be perfectly honest with you, just spraying it with water, spray it with a face mist, it will do the same job. I am going to maybe try and get hold of that Inglot product so I can test it out. But, okay, right, so I've mixed that up and loaded my brush up let's give it a go. I don't know whether or not you're gonna see this, because I feel as though the colours are just a little bit, they're too similar, but this is the idea of these videos. Give it a go and I can let you know. I mean, you know, if I was putting this down over a different shadow, you would definitely see it better. Particularly if you went in with like a dark shimmer, you know, like maybe a chocolatey brown shimmer or something, and then put this rose gold over the top, you would definitely see it then, definitely. But as with the last video, I wanted to keep this as much as possible to the products that have come in the last 3 months glossy boxes, like I say. I am going to go under the eye with this liquid, well, this powder to liquid liner as well. So we might be able to see more when I do that. I'm just going to wet my brush again. Ooh, no, my brush, not my arm. Dipstick. I mean, I'm obviously doing this in the lid of the jar, but if you're somebody who's really well organised and you've got one of those little plasticky mixing palette-y things, do it in that. I just can't be bothered with things like that, in all honesty. I'm just like, nah, use the lid. I mean, blimey, I've even done it on the back of my hand before now. Although I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, because then you can spend half an hour trying to get the blooming thing off. There we go. So, how has that applied as a liner? It's applied really well. It's mixed in really well. I have got no problems or qualms about that whatsoever. The price of this, I have to say, had I not received this in my Glossybox, there is no way on God's green little earth I would have been tempted to buy this. It's £14, nearly £15 for this little tub. Now, there is lots of product in that little tub. I'm not saying there isn't. Is it a good quality loose pigment? Well, I'm not somebody who's really used loose pigments before, so I don't feel as though I can have a sort of definitive opinion on that, to be perfectly honest with you. I've not really got anything else to compare it to. I did get a loose pigment in my Medusa's makeup monthly subscription box from November, and I've yet to try that out, so that's the only other thing I've got that I could potentially compare this to. But yeah, I just think nearly £15 it's a lot of money, and I'm sure there are other products on the market that would potentially, you know, work in the same way. I'm just going to spray this brush again. Do you know, I keep hitting my arm. It's because it's such a tiny brush. No glasses on. Oh. I see what my mum used to say now as she got older trying to do her makeup. And she used to say it's just such a pain, because when you're trying to do your eye makeup and you've not got glasses on, you can't see what the flipping it you're doing. And as per usual, she was right. God, don't you just hate admitting when your mum was right about things? I do. Even though my beautiful mum isn't here anymore with me, I still hate admitting that she was right, because I know damn well she can hear me. And she's sat there. I can see her face now. Anyway, let's get this under eye done. I'm wondering whether or not to smoke it out with a shadow, one of the matte shadows. I might just do that. Just make sure we've got this inner corner sorted. Forgot to do that on this side. Oopsie daisy. There we go. So again, I'm using this as sort of an inner corner highlight as well. Why not? Tie it all in. You know. I'm loving this brush as well. It's so fine and easy to use. I'm really loving it. Again, first time I've used a brush of this shape. So there we go. And I've still got loads of product left. There you go. Can you see all that powder that's left? So I've hardly used any. Now I've just got to try and get it back into the tub. Ha ha ha, this could be fun. There we go, just using the brush just to stick it back in and put the lid on before I knock it all over the place. There we go. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the yellowy shade, I think. So picking the brush, same brush up that I used last time, nice fluffy brush, teeny weeny little bit more on the product on the brush, and we're just going to go very, very gently all the way under, just to tidy up a little bit and get rid of any nasties that are under there. I don't think there is, but you never know. And go into this side. I was a little bit worried then that doing this was going to bring the liner off, but I don't think it is doing it. I think it's alright. I shall go in and have a closer look in a moment. So try and look up. No, I don't think it's brought it off, so that's okay. That's okay. Tidy those corners up, and there we go. We're done. That's the eyes done, everybody. Next thing, we're going to go in and use the Lord and Berry. Now then, I've purposefully not sharpened it today because I wanted to show you the size of sharpener that you're going to need to use this crayon with. This is a dual sharpener that I've got from the Body Shop. I have had it years. I don't even know whether or not you can still buy these. I'm pretty sure you can. You've got a smaller one here for your normal eye or lip liners, and then you've got a slightly thicker one here. This is the one that you need to use. If I show you, look, there's absolutely no way you're going to get it in a normal eyeliner hole, if you know what I mean. So I'm using the thicker one. It doesn't fit in like snugly or fantastically. It's not the right size, but it's just to give you an idea of the size of sharpener you're going to need. This one here, okay? And there we go. All I do is I sort of put it in and I sort of hold it up ever so slightly and then just gently turn it, and it sharpens it fine. I have already, before I came on camera, I've already prepped my lips. I've scrubbed them like I normally do, and then I decided to use the Pixie tinted lip balm that again we got in the Look Fantastic Black Friday edit box. Crikey, that was a mouthful. So, because I just thought that would tie in really nicely as a base colour for this lip crayon. Honestly, this crayon glides on so quickly and smoothly. The only downside is because of the size of the pencil and therefore the size of the nib, you have to be very, very careful. You can easily smudge and not have a brilliant line. But just persevere with it, keep practicing, keep trying. It helps when you don't talk while you're trying to do it as well. And what I do like about this as well is, unlike when you use like a normal lip liner, if you use normal lip liner in this way and colour in, that's absolutely fine, I do that all the time. But they can be quite drying on your lips. This I find isn't. It really isn't drying on the lips at all. And I do suffer with dry lips. It's about the only part of my skin that is dry. The rest of it is completely oily as yuck. But yeah, I really, really like this. They're not the cheapest. I think I've said before, those crayons retail at £15, which when you think it's not a very big pencil, you think, oh, that's a lot of money. And it is a lot of money. Would I say it's worth it though? Absolutely. And if, you know, if you're somebody who likes not a lot of a massive collection, grab one of these, because then you don't need a liquid lipstick, so you don't need a liner and a lipstick or whatever. You can just use these. They stay on, their staying power is brilliant. They stay on for hours. Probably my favourite makeup item that I've received in Glossybox since I've been subscribed. Last thing to do. We are nearly done, ladies and gentlemen. Last thing to do is the Ciate London highlighter. Just using my highlighter brush and gently pat that onto the top of the cheekbone, coming out towards the temple area. And I'm just going to gently buff that now and then sweep. Beautiful pinky gold reflex in this, which I just thought would go really nicely with today's look. There we go. Ooh, look at that gold sparkle. Ooh, very Christmassy. Very Christmassy. There we go. Tap on the other side. On the top of the cheekbone, up to the temple, backwards and forwards. And then gently buffing and blending all the way up before sweeping. There we go. And we're nearly done. We'll just get our pre-glow up mist to help use as our setting spray. I don't particularly know whether it helps set the makeup or make it last any longer. I'm also not entirely sure that you can see any of the gold sparkles. I know I see them in my hair, but on my face I'm not too sure. But hey, we've got it, we're going to use it. There is quite an alcoholic smell to it, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's not overly heavy, so it's not, it doesn't catch at the back of your throat or it's offensive in any way. There we go. And for the first time ever, I've even remembered to bring my comb down with me today. So that when I take this off and my hair all gets stuck up, normally I'm then trying to rag it through with my fingers and I pull loads of hair out. Today we can actually use a comb to sort it out. There we go. Oh, there we go. And get the fringy bit flicked out. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be interested. My hairdresser's coming next week and I've not told her that I've been using the Hask hair oil that we got in November's Glossybox. I personally am really liking it. I think I can see and feel a difference in my hair. This section here, which has been bleached and then dyed, this was really, really dry. it's not now. It's really, it has helped. So I'll be interested to see if she notices a difference. Okay, everybody, this is today's look. Let me give you a final overview of it. We'll do the eyes this side, and then in the front, and then this side. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you're not already, please consider subscribing below. Turn that notification bell on. That way you're going to get to know every time I upload, which is daily at the moment. I am managing to stick to that schedule. Only another week or so to go. Let's see if I can get this 24 days of Christmas sorted. I'll be a happy bunny if I can. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.